Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Welcome to the home buying process and resources virtual workshop this morning. We're glad that you're taking time on your Saturday morning to come hear about these great resources we have available for you. First and foremost, I just want to thank all veterans on the presentation today, both on the panels and attending the webinar. Thank you for your service, and thank you to those that are still currently active in service. Your service is appreciated and absolutely valued. So I will go over the agenda really quickly and kind of give you the housekeeping of how this presentation will be done today. So my name is Joanna Jimenez. I am the program manager for Take Group Milwaukee. This webinar is a collaboration with our members at Take Group Milwaukee and with our community partner, the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce. Saul Newton is the executive director there, and we'll hear from him a little later. But the workshop will have a series of professionals and organizations that are going to talk to you about the buying process and then some other resources that are available for homeowners. So we will hear from a homeownership counseling agency. The City of Milwaukee will present on all of their resources to both homeowners and home buyers. We will have a lending professional talk to you about the lending process when you're buying a home. We will have a realtor that will also talk to you about the buying process and the representation that you will receive from her as your realtor. We will also hear from Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity. They have a different kind of homeownership model that will absolutely make homeownership possible and affordable. And then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So there's a chat box or a Q&A box um, on your webinar. Please feel free to enter your questions there, and we will answer them at the end of the slideshow. So again, I will let you know that we're excited to have you here. We're grateful that you're here. Let me tell you a little bit about Take Group Milwaukee. It is a membership consortium. It's comprised of realtors, housing counseling agencies, lenders, neighborhood groups, nonprofit organizations, and the City of Milwaukee. We all work together to help people in the Milwaukee area obtain and maintain homeownership. Take Group Milwaukee can connect you to people and entities that will be able to help you buy, keep, and fix a home. So please, if you need any help or you know someone that needs help in any of these areas, feel free to contact us. The link right there is to our website, and that is our hotline. Just so you know, we will provide this presentation to you as a follow-up email, and all of the links on the web on this webinar are live. So that means that when you open up the PowerPoint, you can click on these and it'll take you to the websites that are linked to it. So again, feel free to put your questions in the box and we will answer them as we go along. So like I mentioned, Saul Newton, he's the executive director with the Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce. He will probably join us in a little bit and he'll tell us a little bit about the resources available at the chamber. So right now, I want to welcome Alex McCuen. He is a home buyer counselor at Axe Housing here in Milwaukee. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Alex McEwen. I'm one of the home buyer counselors here in Milwaukee for Axe Housing. I'm also a current service member through the Army. I'm 158th Transportation Unit in Beloit, 88 mic or truck driving. So next slide, please. So at Axe Housing, we have a one-stop shop for home buying experience. So it starts with the home buyer counseling portion, and we help families with barriers to home ownership become mortgage ready through financial education and counseling. And we do one-on-one PACE online counseling options that are available. So we sit with you, we review your credit, we help you look for grants or do grant assessments for lenders. We help build a budget for you. We do a pre-qualifier to see your likeliness of getting pre-approved, your affordability of buying a home. And then we also have a realtor team on staff so that they help support sales of city foreclosures. They help families find affordable, sustainable homes. So that's the one key feature about our realtor department, that they're looking for homes that are within your affordability and through the accessibility through the city. Our third part is the AXE lending program, and that just gives us access to financing for the purchase and the rehab of a distressed home. So that's another key feature, that our lending program does for purchase and the rehab of a home that you choose. That may be a city foreclosed home, and then we work with the lenders. We have many trusted relationships with lenders throughout the city and beyond in the county areas that have state and federal VA lending programs that could interest you. And our last part is the rehab counseling section of our organization. They support homeowners in the successful rehabilitation of their homes. So this is another key feature that is not nowhere else throughout the country, to be honest, that the rehab counselor is going to assess the home that you choose to live in and then you want to start your rehab project on. They'll work with you on the scope of practice. They'll look with you and link you with contractors, and they'll just look and oversee your project and speed you along to the right connections to help have a successful rehabilitation of your home. Next slide, please. We've been around for 25 years in the community, serving the community, empowering the community to home ownership. We've invested $153 million dollars into the city of Milwaukee. Through our AXE lending, we have originated 194 loans, and we have reclaimed 919 foreclosed homes. We've helped over 2,700 families become homeowners. And on the right, you can see some of our racial demographics of the families that we serve. That's 37% Latino, 34% Asian, 21% African American, and 8% other, and also veterans like you. Our demographics are family, our average size of four, and the average annual household income is 41,000. Next slide, please. And how to get started with this. So you start by going to our website, axhousing.org, and you complete our virtual orientation for free directly on our website. It just goes over the same steps that we kind of went in previous slides on how to sign up, how to get started with us, what each department has to offer you as a home buyer. And it goes into then our credit report fee. So we're reviewing your credit report. It's a one-time fee for an individual, $24. If we ever had to go back and update your credit report, or review your credit report again, there will be no fee. It's just a one-time fee, and then it's $48 for a married couple. After we receive some of your electronic documents, which is minimum documents for us to be able to present you to a lender, we're just looking for the last 2 years of your tax returns, the last 2 months of your bank statements, and the last three check stubs if you're paid biweekly, or last five check stubs if you are paid weekly. Once you submit that to us, we'll set you up with an intake specialist, and they're just putting data entry points into our system, building a relationship with you, getting to know you and your quest and pursuit and your passion for becoming a homeowner through a Zoom meeting. And then if they have any questions, you can answer that, or they can put the notes in for your counselor to address in one of your counseling appointments. I want to thank you again for your time, and we appreciate the veterans and all the duty you serve to our country.
Thank you so much, Alex, for that presentation. Um, Again, for those of you that are joining us today, make sure you rate your questions in the Q&A box, and that you may have for Alex, about anything that he's discussed already, and we'll get those answered for you. So again, Take Root Milwaukee. We have a wide network of, organizations like Axe Housing that are ready to help you with the buying process, counseling process, financial empowerment process. So please feel free to visit our website and get connected with these agencies when you're ready to start that home buying journey. So right now, I'd like to invite Benjamin Sanchez. He's a housing program specialist at the City of Milwaukee. Welcome, Ben.
Good morning. Thank you, Joanna. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on Saturday. I am, like Joanna indicated, a housing program specialist with the City of Milwaukee. I work with the Department of City Development, and within that department, I work within the division called the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation. We do have several programs. My main focus today will be on home buying, but I do want to mention that we do have one program called the Strong Homes Loan Program. The reason I mention this program is because it is a program that's available to individuals and families that may have an emergency related to their home that they live in. So that means if they live in their home for at least 12 months, and if we can move on to the next slide, please. If they live in their home for 12 months, this is their main web page for the Strong Homes Loan Program. It kind of explains what are the small requirements. There are more requirements, but these are the basic requirements for the program. So one of them is to live in the home for 12 months, and then you have to be current on your property taxes and current on mortgage and utility payments. And we do have income limits for this program. The reason I mention this is because you may have friends or family members that may be experiencing emergencies and are not able to obtain a bank loan to help them fix their home. This is a loan of last resource. That means that if someone cannot obtain a bank loan, we can definitely try to see if we can help the individual or family repair their emergency or needs. Most cases that we see within the department are related to like roof replacements due to leaking roofs, or serious electrical hazards, sewer lateral concerns, issues with broken windows, issues with damaged siding, for example. If there are any code orders, those are some of the things that we look at. On this particular page, you'll notice that there's a phone number. If you have questions or if you need to refer a friend or family member, you can refer them to 414-286-5610. That number again is 414-286-5610. And again, please share this information. The next slide, moving on a little bit more towards home ownership and trying to purchase a home. This is the website for the City of Milwaukee Real Estate Department. And on this particular website, there are multiple pages within the real estate department, but this page shows you how you can find current listings, extended listings, listings that are with the broker, and properties that are available within the 500 plus program. This is where we list all of the properties that are for sale. It lists how much they're selling for. They can range anywhere between $2,500 all the way in up to the $100,000 or more. But it lists the current listing, which is the orange little box there with the house. That lists basically houses that are available for individuals to try to purchase a home to live in the home, and it allows that individual to place an offer to purchase 30 days before it gets open to the public for investors. After 30 days, it moves on to the extended listing. And on the extended listing, it opens up the listing to investors and to homeowners and nonprofit agencies that are possibly trying to purchase a property. There is also below the little yellow house a list of broker houses, and those particular houses are just additional houses that are available through real estate agents that are listing those particular properties. And then the final portion of this particular website page is the 500 plus program. This is a program for individuals that are trying to purchase a home, and the home, let's say, is very close to a relative or family member. That relative and family member that may live in the neighborhood could provide the individual that's looking to purchase a house within 500 feet of the existing home an advantage of 30 days before it's actually publicly listed on the orange little house, the current listing house. So again, we want to create a sense of community, and this offers the opportunity for individuals to actually place bids before it becomes publicly available. For any questions related to the real estate side of things, you are more than welcome to call 414-286-5730. But as we're talking today, you're going to meet a couple of real estate agents and housing counseling agencies throughout this presentation. We highly encourage you to start at least with a housing counseling agency. And Axe Housing, listed today, is one of the speakers. That would be an example of the first person you want to talk to kind of understand what is the process of purchasing a house and what do I need to do to kind of get to that stage of being ready. Next slide, please. One of the programs that we offer through my department in the Neighborhood Improvement Development Corporation is called the Homebuyer Assistance Program. So this program is available if you're trying to purchase a city-owned tax foreclosure. It can help with up to $20,000. And we do have different programs. So this is one of the programs. We have a variety of programs that are available for first-time homebuyers. So if you're interested in all of our programs, visit our website. And the links will be listed and they will be available for you to kind of click on the presentation to take you directly to that website. So this program offers up to $20,000 in the form of a forgivable loan. As long as you live in the home for a period of 5 years, the funding becomes fully forgivable. That means that you don't have to pay a penny. The money is used predominantly for fixing a city-owned tax foreclosure. And we help you with that dollar amount, but there is an investment that you would need to also invest. It is a match dollar for dollar program. And in most cases, you can do a transaction in terms of a purchase with a cash purchase, or you can do it with bank financing, whatever you decide that you want to do and whatever you can afford to do. You would talk that over with your counseling agent, and that person would be able to kind of let you know what are the best steps to take on a rehabilitation project, because working with a rehab property does take some time and it does take a lot of patience, especially if you're trying to kind of move in to a house very quickly. This is probably not the best program for you, but if you know that you're planning your process of purchasing a house and you know that you want to fix it to your liking, this may be the program that best suits your needs. For that program, if you have questions, you can reach us at 414-286-5610. Next slide, please. Again, this is the page where you can find those links at the Strong Homes Loan Program, which is the city.milwaukee.gov, and then /DCD NIDC Strong Loan. And the same thing for the real estate department and for the homebuyer assistance program. Next slide, please. Now, the other portion that I would like to talk about is today, simultaneously, there is another Housing Resource Fair 2020 hosted by Alderwoman Coggs and Alderman Stamper. They do this event on a yearly basis. This is the first time that we're doing it virtual as a live event, and it's going to be live streamed, and there are going to be live Q&A sessions going on. You can definitely check out this event at Time Warner Cable, Channel 25, AT&T Uverse on Channel 99, or you can go to the city.milwaukee.gov/city-clerk/city channel and watch it live stream on the website. Now, what I can do is I can provide in the chat session, I can provide a link for how to register for this event if you're interested in registering. If you do not want to register, there's another way to participate at the Northcott Neighborhood House between 10 and 2 p.m. and that's at 2460 North 6th Street. You can definitely drive by and pick up a package with valuable resource information. And that's pretty much it today. If you have any further questions, we'll be around at the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben. Your support and your collaboration with the City of Milwaukee with this whole consortium is extremely valuable. So thank you for being here with us today. And right now we're going to transition into talking about the actual home purchasing process. So today we have Todd Bazak from PNC Bank. Please welcome.
Thank you, Johanna, and thank you to all you veterans. We truly do appreciate your service. Normally, Madeline Gramling would be one of my loan officers who would present today, but since she's currently on active duty, I am truly honored to fill her place, and hopefully we'll do justice to her explanations of the process. So my goal is to relieve hopefully any fears that you may have regarding the mortgage application process. And I will say, by joining this webinar, you've already taken a huge step towards that. The process shouldn't be scary. Things you're going to learn today are going to alleviate any obstacles that you should come into during the process. So to start it off, next slide, please. Pre-qualification. So pre-qualification is really a conversation between you and possibly a loan officer or possibly a home buying counselor about your job, income, assets, but more importantly, your goals. And you're kind of planning on what it is that you'd like to achieve. Sometimes it could involve a credit pull and sometimes not. But again, it's a great place to start to figure out what it is you would like to achieve. The next part is probably one of the most important parts, followed after a pre-qual is a pre-approval. You want to get that lender's guarantee behind you before you go out shopping for a home. Doesn't always happen that way, and that's okay. We can still accommodate that. But getting that pre-approval, again, is that piece of paper in hand that says, yes, I am qualified to buy. And again, those home buyer counselors do a great job of guiding you to that point. And I always like to tell people to bring the twos. So just always remember, you're going to need 2 years of income, whether it be tax returns and W-2s or just W-2s, 2 pay stubs. That's how we calculate your income, also validate with your W-2s. And then 2 months of bank statements so that we can show not only your ability to pay closing costs or things that might occur at the closing, but also that you can budget. And at that point, there's also a chance that we could order your certificate of eligibility, a very important piece. Sometimes takes a little bit more to get them set up. So we do recommend that you get your certificate of eligibility early, and we can assist you with that. And then once we have all those pieces together, we'll send you in for either an automated approval through the underwriting system or actually go to a true underwriter. And again, that's when you get that piece of paper that's a guarantee when you're out there shopping to buy a house. So now that you're out there shopping, you might find a house that you like, you put an offer in and it gets accepted. That's when you come back to your lender and you show us the contract. And at that point, you turn that pre-approval into an application. We're going to add that contract into the system. We're going to order things like your appraisal through the VA. We're going to lock in interest rate. We'll start ordering title. But one of the big parts of that is we're going to issue what's called a lender's estimate, or an LE, which basically just describes how much it's going to cost for you to buy this house. And the great thing about VA loans, not a lot of fees are allowed to be charged on VA loans. So it really is the bare minimum. And then again, you could also see any credits that you could receive on that LE in the form of grants or tax credits. After you get through that process, you go into processing, and that's where you're introduced to your team of people who are going to work on getting your loan approved. They may have to update some things since your pre-approval in case your pay stubs, got a little too old, or we crossed years into new year and we needed a new W-2 or a new bank statement. They will then send that loan into underwriting, probably for a mid-review to see if the underwriters agree with anything that we have. And then finally, once they do know of anything that might be missing, they'll send it in for what's called a clear to close. Once that clear to close is issued, the next important part is you get what's called a CD. That is basically the title company and the lender talking together, and any other parties involved, and making sure that you know exactly how much money you need to close, if any. In many cases, sometimes we don't need any money at the closing table. And then finally, once you're done through there, you'll go to closing. The lender will send their documents probably to a title company, sometimes to a realtor's office or an attorney's office. We'll send a wire out for our funds. We'll tell you what to bring to your closing, identifications, if you need a check or not, and who to make it out to. And basically, you'll sign a whole bunch of times, and then you'll be granted a set of keys once that's all completed. Typically, this process could take anywhere from 30 to 60 days, depending on your needs. And again, also how fast you find a house. But that is really pretty much the process of getting a loan. There's a little more details in between there, but as we go through it, we'll explain them all to you with our teams. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. And again, thank you very much for your service, and I look forward to working with you all in the future.
Thank you so much, Todd, for that information and for being part of Take Root Milwaukee. We are known for being able to bring trusted resources to our communities. And so, again, please reach out to Todd, and I'm sure that, he can get you connected with a loan officer that can help you walk through the entire process. Like I mentioned, Take Root Milwaukee is a network of different organizations and businesses. And so here's a list of all of the banking and lending institutions that are supporters and collaborators here at Take Root Milwaukee. Again, the links are live on the web slides. So once you get this presentation, you're able to click on them and visit our website at any time. Please feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box, and we will get to those as soon as we're done with the presentation. Right now, I am excited to present Monique Simmons. She is a realtor here in Milwaukee, and she will talk to you about her role in being part of your team to help you become a homeowner. Welcome, Mo.
Hi, good morning, and thank you. So good morning, everyone, and thank you for spending a part of your Saturday morning with us. I am Monique Simmons. I'm a realtor with Exit Realty Horizons, and today I just want to give you a little bit about the home buying process with a realtor. So you've made the first decision, that's to buy a house, and that's awesome. So you've either probably already gone through home counseling, which is great, and then it's time for you to pick me as your real estate agent. Once you've done that, hopefully you've already been pre-approved for your loan. But if not, I can certainly direct you to some wonderful people to help you get that process started. That's an important piece to do before we go out looking for houses, because we want to know what your spending power is. We want to know how much house you can afford, so that will be what we're going to be shopping for. Once we have those numbers in place, we're going to start finding the right house for you. So when we meet, we're going to make a list of things that you're going to need to have in your house. So you're going to be asking yourself how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms that you think you'll need in order to get an idea of how much space you desire. You're going to want to figure out how big do you want the kitchen to be? Do you need lots of closets, not lots of cabinet space? Are you going to need a big yard for your kids and your pets? So these are just some things that you're going to be compiling and thinking about when we meet to make sure that you can find the right house. We're making a list of all of your must-haves, okay? So from there, once we find the right house, we're going to make an offer on the house. We're going to just make the offer, and then we also might have to negotiate the deals in a counter offer. So we don't really want to go back and forth too much. We're going to have to meet somewhere in the middle. But once we agreed on the price, you're going to make your earnest money deposit, which is money that you give to the seller, or put down, which is a sign of good faith. After all the negotiations have been done, earnest money has been paid, we're going to have an inspection. And for VA loans, pest inspections are required. So we make sure that we get that done along with the home inspection. Once those contingencies have been met, you get your final loan approval. We're going to go to closing. You get your keys to your house, close the deal, and I'll continue to be a resource for you. And when I say I'll continue to be a resource for you, that means if you need anything such as numbers for contractors or landscaping or anything like that, you can always reach out to me for that. So we just want to make sure that you continue to invest in the community. You know, Milwaukee is a city of great neighborhoods, and we can definitely help you shop around in those neighborhoods, find something, create sustainable home ownership, and that creates sustainable communities. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Mo, for that. Again, please make sure that you put your questions in the chat box, and we will address those at the end. Your realtor is going to be like your best friend along with your lender when you are in the home buying process. And again, like she said, she can be a resource to you even after you have bought your home. So thank you, Mo, for those uh, interesting and helpful tips about the home buying process. And so again, like I mentioned before, we are a membership organization. Please feel free to reach out to Mo. Her contact is in the slides. But should you need to, refer someone else, uh, feel free to check out our website for our other realtors. But Mo is awesome. Also, here is we just wanted to highlight the other nonprofit and neighborhood groups that are part of Take Group Milwaukee. Again, we are a resource center for people who want to buy, keep, and fix a home. If you know someone who may be facing foreclosure, we have resources for that. If you know someone who needs help navigating through a repair, a critical repair, again, there are organizations that can help you do that. So please feel free to share, this information with anyone you know, and give us a call or give any one of our members a call. Right now, I'm excited to introduce Natasha Gray from Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity. Again, your homeownership journey is going to be unique, and there are different models out here and different avenues for you to become a homeowner. And so, welcome, Natasha, to talk to us about Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity.
Thank you, Johanna. Again, I am Natasha Gray, the Director of Family Services with Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity. The mission of Milwaukee Habitat brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. Our vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. We are helping families that are in need of safe and affordable housing. Next slide. Families in Milwaukee and all across the US are paying too much for rent and other housing expenses. At Habitat for Humanity, we believe that a family should never spend more than 30% of their income on housing. Our program provides affordable homeownership opportunities for those in need. Next slide. Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity has committed over 30 years plus to building and repairing homes and communities and offering hope to the city of Milwaukee. We do this by our neighborhood revitalization approach, which focuses on a block by block building strategy. By concentrating our efforts in focused neighborhoods, we're able to have an impact beyond one family and one home, but transform entire blocks. The goal is to build a safe, sustainable community where our families live. Driving this effort is our new construction program, where we're making homeownership affordable for low to moderate income first-time homeowners. Our program prepares families to be successful long-term and teaches them how to be resident leaders in their neighborhoods. Next slide. How does one become a Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity homeowner? For us, we have three main program requirements. First, an applicant must have a need for housing. You must be a first-time homeowner, meaning you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years and are in need of safe, decent, and affordable housing. Second, an applicant must have the ability to pay a mortgage. Milwaukee Habitat does not give away free homes. Our homeowners must qualify for a mortgage with the bank in order to purchase one of our homes. We work in tandem with all of the housing counseling agencies and lenders to make sure you meet specific underwriting criteria. And we will assist you in increasing your credit score and help you find ways to save for down payment and closing costs. And last, an applicant must be willing to partner with Habitat in its sweat equity process. Our families contribute 200 to 400 hours of sweat equity in the building of their home and or neighbor's home by working on the build site, in our restores, completing homebuyer education, and doing community development projects. Next slide. There are many benefits of being a Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity homeowner. Mainly, many of our applicants receive new construction homes. These homes are brand new, energy efficient homes. Our program allows them to have minimal down payment requirements, and we work with a group of lenders that have created special mortgage products for us that will offer low interest rates and low closing costs. The average monthly mortgage payment for a new construction home with Milwaukee Habitat ranges anywhere between $500 and $800. This includes everything. So your principal, your interest, your taxes, and insurance. And again, I'll say that these are move-in ready homes. So you don't have to worry about changing the roof or foundation issues. Next slide. So some of the next steps. The first thing for homeownership for our program is that you have to register and attend an orientation session. Because of COVID, everything has moved to being online. So you'll go to our website and register. After you've completed that orientation session, you'll be given an opportunity to submit an application and submit documents. We will then review your application and provide feedback. If at any point during your homeownership journey you have questions, please feel free to contact Maria Reyes. She is there to assist you through your homeownership journey. Again, if you're interested in Habitat for Humanity and you want to learn more about our program, once this presentation becomes available, you'll be able to click on this link and then you'll be able to become a Habitat homeowner.
Thank you so much for that, Natasha. Again, this is a different type of journey to becoming a homeowner. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I am a Habitat for Humanity homeowner. I was able to build my home, raise my kids, and build a foundation for my family, to have a prosperous future. So I highly recommend this organization for anyone who is looking for an affordable option to become a homeowner. Thank you again, Natasha.
Thank you.
And so right now, I want to get into our Q&A. I don't see any questions on the chat box, but I have some questions for our moderators, for our panelists here today that, maybe I'm thinking that, the attendees may want to know. For either Alex or even Todd, if you can let us know what's the typical credit score that you guys or a lending institution would look for someone applying for a mortgage.
This is Todd, and so for a VA loan, it actually doesn't require a credit score. So it's something we can evaluate for people that do have lack of credit, or there may have been an occurrence of something that happened that caused your credit scores to be low. But typically, on average, most lenders would like to see a 620. That's kind of like the sweet spot where they want to see a credit score. But again, a 580 doesn't necessarily scare us when it comes to lending in the VA space. But in other programs, FHAs, in conventional loans, you'll tend to see a 620 or a 640 requirement out there.
Thank you so much, Todd.
Sure.
And I could piggyback on that. This is Alex. So we try to counsel all of our clients and families to a point of probably 660, which is a little bit above what Todd mentioned, and I thank him for bringing that up. But we just try to make sure that you have, a little more points over than what they're looking for, just to have a little wiggle room and give you options with different lenders. So no matter if you have a credit score of 400 and you have an awesome credit score of 800, everyone can benefit from counseling just to see what your options are as a first-time homeowner. So just, navigating you through that process, and however long it takes and wherever you're at in your credit, wherever you're at in your savings, just building that strong foundation so you have the most options available from a lender.
Johanna, this is Natasha. For the Habitat program, a lot of our lenders do require a 620, but if an applicant comes to us and they don't have that 620 right off the bat, we are able to work with them. We do an initial review, and then we kind of work through an action plan to help them through the process to get to a 620. Because our building process is so long, it's not one that you just come into our program and then you get assigned a house. It typically takes an applicant anywhere between 6 to 12 months to complete our program, and sometimes even longer. so they have time to build that credit score.
Thank you so much, both Alex and Natasha, for that information. So, there is, a window of opportunity that, even if your credit is not the best, like both Alex and Natasha said, they can work with you to help you build your credit, so that all hope is not lost. We understand that people are in different, times in their lives where, where you may have, you've been working so hard and you have that great score, and you may be ready to get pre-approved and ready to buy. But then again, these are resources that are available to you if you need a little bit more help to get you to that point. So thank you again. Please reach out to the counseling agencies. They will help you at whatever stage of the process that you are in. Monique, I want to ask you, could you tell us right now, what is the current state of the real estate market as it pertains to how long it may take for someone to be able to buy a home from that pre-approval process that they come to you ready to look for a home?
Well, the state of the real estate market right now is we are in a very serious seller's market, meaning there's so much more demand than there is supply. So there's a lot of buyers out there wanting to buy, especially now because the interest rates are so low. But there's not a lot of inventory. So right now, the process or the timeline has been going fairly quickly from pre-approval. If you're lucky enough or able to find something quickly, people have been closing from the time they put in the offer to the closing date. It's been about 30 to 45 days. That's in the recent market. What was your other question? Hello?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Those were the questions with the state of the market, and then how long it may take for the process to get finished from pre-approval to finishing. Thank you so much for that. Does anyone else want to add anything before we move on? All right, I don't see any questions. So
I
I
want
want
to add something real quick.
Okay.
I just want our attendees to know that everybody's home buying experience is different. So don't take into account, what your parents or your best friends or your cousins, how their experience was, because everybody's experience is going to be different. Just rely on your realtor, your lenders, your real estate team to help you to make your experience the best that it could be.
Yes, that's why I mentioned that your real estate agent's going to be one of your best friends in this process, along with your mortgage officer. I do see that a question came in the chat. Yes, the presentation will be available to you. We will do a follow-up email after this webinar, and we will get you the presentation completely. All right, we have another one. To briefly revisit the topic of credit counseling, should potential buyers expect to pay for this service? Alex, can you touch on whether your organization charges for the counseling?
Yes, I can touch on that a little bit. So just to go into counseling, so in hindsight, yes, but it is come out, through after you've closed and worked with the lender. So basically a complete process. It's not an upfront fee from you because we are a nonprofit. But to answer your question directly, yes, for participating lenders that we work with, and the referrals that we get from them and we receive from us, there is a fee that could be applied to your particular case, but it's nothing that you have to pay as a client or consumer.
Okay, thank you for that. Natasha, does Habitat for Humanity charge for those services?
We do not. We have an application fee It's $25, but after that, there's no additional fee to work with us.
Great, thank you so much. Any other questions or last comments from the panelists? Something you may have forgotten to mention? All right, well, thank you so much. I wanted to go back and touch on one of our partners today, the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce. They're an organization that, you know, is set up to help business owners, veterans, and military families. Most of their membership is comprised of that demographic or businesses that are veteran and military friendly. And so some of their members of the commerce are people that work in this industry, like we're talking today about home buying. And so they can have, you can have access to realtors, home inspectors, lenders, and brokers, insurance agencies, contractors that do landscaping or home repair, to be able to help you, you know, in your home ownership needs. And so again, they're veteran or military friendly, and or they are veteran owned businesses. So I encourage you to reach out to the chamber should you know someone, or if you yourself have a business and need some resources, or if you need home ownership resources, please feel free to reach out to them. Any questions, other questions or concerns? If